you're looking for new Danmei and BL recommendations, and I am about to drop a massive report here. It's time for my June reading wrap-up. Hello besties, welcome back to the channel. Grab your drink, get comfy, because we have a big list to go through today. June has been a wild ride for my reading journey. I started last month really productive, and then obviously life got in the way, but still I managed to read the total amount of 12 titles, which is not bad at all. We have fluff, we obviously have absolutely devastation, because you know that I love Angst, and we have as well really great contemporary stories. So without further ado, let's get into my June reading wrap-up, and we're starting strong because we're gonna start with the magical Mpreg, Danmei. I started June reading one fan translation that has been in my TBR for quite a while. I'm not gonna lie, it was a great way to start last month because it was absolutely fun. And I'm talking about Dr. Jiang. It is pregnant with his Nemesis child. And no, this is not an omegaverse. If you want a story that takes Mpreg in a realistic way, with a touch of a slice of life setting, this Danmei is for you. Here we have rebels to lovers, two main characters that are absolutely hilarious to read. They have been rivals since they were young. One day they get drunk, sleep together, and our main character ends up getting pregnant. Even though the setup was already hard to believe, actually, the author did a really great job guiding you through our main character pregnancy and kind of making it more realistic. Obviously, if you're studying medicine, you're a doctor or something related to that industry, please, I beg you, don't take this Danmei too serious. But still, I had a great time. I was laughing a lot to these two, and it was really adorable to see these two rivals becoming lovers and then a family together. The only thing that wasn't my cup of tea, or at least it was giving me the ick kind of, was like the patriotic comments that you're gonna find along the Danmei. But still, I gave it 4.5 stars. And from a lovely and pretty crazy comedy, we're moving to the pain. We're moving to having our heart destroyed several times, and we're moving to my reread of Remnants of Filth, Volume 2 and Volume 3. There is so much value in revisiting these books, actually. It is written by meatbun. This author has a skill to put your heart through a lot of suffering and pain, but also make those moments at the same time really beautiful. That is the magic of meatbun. And if we're talking about Remnants of Filth specifically, this Danmei series, it is a constant pain. Going back to the story actually allowed me to realize little details that I completely forgot about it, and also being able to connect Remnants of Filth with the 𝐓𝐢𝐭𝐥𝐬 and his 𝐻𝐢𝐭𝐥𝐬, which is another title reading by meatbun. I am beyond happy that I decided to start rereading this series before I tackled the last two volumes. And if I have to highlight some of these two volumes, I have to point out once again Volume 3, which, by the way, I do have a reading blog video with Volume 3, so if you want to revisit the pain and suffer with me, you're more than welcome to check that out. And there you're gonna realize how, even though I forgot a bunch, and when I'm saying a bunch, I mean it, a bunch of different scenes, I wasn't able to forget Volume 3 and the last scene there. Please teach me how to let go. I'm not joking. Seriously, you cannot see it, but goosebumps. Like, my dear and precious Mochi. And obviously, if we're talking about meatbun, you know that I am biased because she's my favorite author. I gave Remnants of Filth Volume 2 4.5 stars and Volume 3 absolutely 5 stars for the Angst alone. And from all these devastating moments that Remnants of Filth brought me, I obviously needed something to put my heart on ease. So I started a new Danmei series that, to be honest, I wasn't expecting to enjoy as much as I did. The Villain's White Halo. I started Volume 1 basically because I was art baited. I'm not gonna lie, and I mean, you can understand, right? And then I realized that this was actually a transmigration story. And if you know me, you know that I adore those kind of stories, but also a pretty fun one. So extra points there. Here you're gonna find our main character who has transmigrated several times. He lived hundreds of different lives before, but he always transmigrated into the body of a no one. No one with power, no one interesting, no one that actually make an impact on the story. Basically, always an NPC. So obviously this time he was more than ready to claim a way more impactful position. He wanted to be the ultimate big boss. So he has this request to this organization that it is actually the one in charge of the people who transmigrate and basically the Reaper, which by the way, it was pretty unique because in this case it's not that we have any kind of a system like it happened with Scambil and Cell system. We actually have an organization in charge of second lives, transmigrations, yada yada yada. They provide our main character with a white halo that apparently is gonna help him to reach his goal. However, there was a glitch, and actually this white halo would only make our main character to being perceived as someone really pure, really innocent, basically a white lotus. And one of those people is obviously the protagonist of the novel that our main character transmitted. It's seriously really fun. I adore how, due to this misunderstanding, our main lead end up falling bad for our main character. I have to say though, Volume 2 ended up with a huge, and to be honest, criminal cliffhanger. I gave Volume 1 4.5 and Volume 2 4.25 stars. And continue with the fantasy, with a fun and adorable story, and continue being art-baited. I read as well The White Cat Divines Scratching Paws. Volume 1. Again, art-baited. Hey, you can understand now. This Danmei, I think it will be perfect even more if you are a cat lover, because you're gonna probably relate to a lot of different scenes that you're gonna find in this Danmei. Here we have master, discipline, or master, familiar, and basically an adorable main couple. It is a story of second chances. It is a story in where our main character is gonna reborn several hundred years later and is gonna meet again his favorite person slash animal in the world. I have several shorts talking about this Danmei and what is the story about. But basically what I loved the most was actually, first of all, we have our main character who literally don't give a damn about the rest of people. For him there is no one more important, more perfect like his lovely white cat. He truly spoiled Rorem, his beautiful family. And what a surprise that when he got to reborn after hundreds of years and start joining a new sect because he needed to recover his cultivation power, what a surprise and how suspicious it is that his new Jisung has a lot of cat-like manners. And what I love the most, actually, it is our main lead, because when he is in his human form, he's ice cold. He's someone that will put you one arm away minimum from him. Someone unapproachable, someone really petty, not friendly at all. However, when he is in his cat form, he will let our main character pet him, will demand attention all the time, and he basically will live the most spoiled life ever. And I gave volume 1 3 stars. And we continue with Danmei, because one of my most expected reads last month was actually Silent Reading volume 3, one of the priest's masterpiece. I always said this: if you love crime mystery stories, you definitely need to add Silent Reading to your TBR. It's not only that all the crime and mysteries that we need to resolve are really entertaining, it's also that we have one of the most funniest couple ever. And with this volume, as I said several times, I was giggling, screaming, kicking my feet all the time. It was that good. I was already really hyped and excited to see if we're gonna get more development in our main character relationship in this volume, because the end of volume 2 was actually teasing us on that aspect. I knew that with Silent Reading I wasn't gonna get at all explicit scenes like the ones you get with meatbun. That is not gonna happen. However, what a volume. Seriously living a teenage dream, because it was amazing. It was chef kiss. We have Shameless 1 getting with Shameless 2. What you're gonna get there is absolutely the best moment of your life. And I have to point out one of my favorite parts, because seriously, if you start reading Silent Reading and you think that this 𝐓𝐢𝐭𝐥𝐬 guy, this mysterious guy with glasses, has a charm, was interesting to you, wait till you met him in volume 3. He's seriously shameless and bold, and I love him for that. He spent the last part of volume 2 and basically volume 3 teasing our main character non-stop. However, the moment that our main character actually decided to take the lead, like, that's it, you've been teasing me, you've been playing with fire all this time, and now you're gonna get what you asked for. Seeing 𝐓𝐢𝐭𝐥𝐬 actually getting shy, I love it. Obviously, my two favorite scenes from this volume, and please, if you haven't read it, skip a bit this part because you're gonna get a spoiler here. First of all was when 𝐓𝐢𝐭𝐥𝐬 was in the hospital and Luo was waiting for him, absolutely devastated, absolutely scared to death that he may be losing this person, and actually refusing to move from that place even though he should be actually resting and getting treated for his injuries. And the moment that the nurse actually asks, what is your relationship with him, basically, and he said, I'm his husband, there in front of his parents, in front of everyone, was, yeah, that was the confirmation that we all wanted, that actually indeed Luo was as well attracted to 𝐓𝐢𝐭𝐥𝐬 and actually have feelings for him. I think all of us were screaming. But the moment, and I have a short about this, the moment that 𝐓𝐢𝐭𝐥𝐬 is already awake, it is in the hospital bed, and Luo was asking him what he wanted. And even though 𝐓𝐢𝐭𝐥𝐬 couldn't talk, managed to actually write in Luo's hand to top what? you. I love it. I have no words. I have no words. Like, seriously. Like this multiply by 10 while I was reading it. Absolutely perfection. I absolutely love this too so much. Obviously, I gave it 5 stars. But I haven't only read Danmei during June. I actually read mangas and a great manga. Related to mangas, I finally started and finished The Secret Serpent Seduction. This is a perfect palate cleanser after reading something angsty. And watching these two actually not also raising their kids, which was adorable. Also learning about how to move on and learning about life itself was really amazing. Now I finally understand why this manga was so popular and why so many people were obsessed with it. But obviously not everything can be about green flags, wholesome and fluffy stories. You know me, bestie. I read as well manhwa with a main couple with a complicated relationship. Love Jinx. All the story is around our main character Jinx, which is basically every time that he kisses someone, only horrible things happen. However, fate will play its card and will reunite him with his first love. It is absolutely possessive. It is absolutely a dandy. Our main couple not only will have to go and deal with our main character Jinx, they also have to go through all the different issues that they faced years ago, but this time with the help and support of each other. And this time making sure that no one can make them being separated again. And for mangas, I read 2 great titles. One, an omegaverse, and another one, a mother story. Talking about the omegaverse, I read How to Deal with Your Intimidated Neighbor. It is actually an omega. Volume 1, this was really adorable. Our main couple they are so cute. They are so precious. We have here 2 university students. One alpha that, my poor thing, it is the completely representation of the total opposite of what you would expect from an alpha. He is a helpless virgin. He is naive. He's just discovering life and actually experiencing his first love. Which, funny enough, it will be his neighbor. Someone that at the beginning totally made him scared because he had really intimidating look. However, and as usually happen, behind that intimidating and dangerous looks, it is a really lovely omega that, even though give this impression of actually not caring that much, of not being clingy, it's just only because of his insecurities. And to be honest, these two make the perfect couple together. I think they bring to the table what the other was missing and lacking, and it was, as I said, really adorable to read. And the last manga, as I mentioned, was a recommendation by Lost Tier, one of our lovely community members. I'm talking about Senden Farawell gift for the lost time. This is a one-shot. And here we have a really realistic couple. It was actually the first time that I was facing a story and a couple with this kind of issues. After years together and living together, our main character decided that he had enough. And not because he didn't love our main lead, but just because he was fed up with a lot of things that he didn't like from our main lead. This is basically what happened when you go to live with another person and you both have to adapt yourself to living together. In this case, our main lead, it is a writer, and he's someone that every time that he's working on a new novel, get completely immersed on that and basically stop paying attention to his loved one and to housework. Obviously, it reached a point in where our main character just couldn't handle it anymore. I think it was because our main character didn't have a great time, wasn't going through the best moment. You know, when you are just tired of work, of everything, and just another thing that you don't like from your partner is the thing that actually make the glass of water explode, right? Like the last drop to make you switch, to make you lose it. So we started with this main couple breaking up and actually seeing how our main character regretted from the next second that he took that decision. I think this is why it was really realistic. First of all, we start with already a couple form who has been together for years. And what make them actually go through a bad time and a pivot in the relationship was actually issues in their convivence, right? In their way of living together. I think seeing these two actually realizing not only their partner issue, but actually their own ones, their own flaws, and realizing that maybe they haven't actually understand the other person, they haven't actually stopped and think about their situation, their priorities, and how the other one will feel. It made them actually way more mature. This is a grounded, mature, and realistic story. And these were the 12 titles that I read during June. If you stay up until now with me, thank you so much, bestie, for watching. Please let me know in the comment which was your favorite read of June and what you're looking forward to read the most during this month. And don't forget to like and subscribe for more videos if you love obsessing over BL as much as I do. And as usual, hope you're having an amazing day and see you in the next video. Ciao!